1 seed Longhorns, the 2 seed Wolverines. Let's take a look at our championship bracket. UCLA, UConn, they have punched their tickets to the Final Four. Michigan led by Kim Barnes-Orico, winningest coach in program history. Her 14th season has taken Michigan to their only 2 Elite Eight appearances, and Vic Schaefer, his 6th season at Texas. They have been in the Elite Eight 5 times, trying to head back to a Final Four in consecutive seasons. Here we go, Elite Eight matchup. Texas and Michigan is underway.
You see Michigan starting out in their man-to-man defense. Texas wants to take advantage of their size inside. A point of emphasis for Vic Schaefer at shoot-around.
He said, I better have my bigs touching it every time down the floor. They don't have someone who can deal with it. Carlton, one of those bigs, able to finish.
And a really nice job by Madison Booker to handle the blitz. That's what Michigan does on ball screens. Texas handled it well.
Meanwhile, Michigan was able to bounce back after a tough start against Louisville and their pressure in the Sweet 16, perhaps helping prepare them for tonight in the Texas defense. But a turnover there early from Olsen, and right away Sword says, all right, calm down, that's okay.
We've seen that throughout the course of the season this year with Michigan, putting a bigger defender on Quarles Daniels, knowing that you are going to help off of her because she does not take many threes.
And then what she does is take advantage on the offensive glass when there's not a body on her from the roamer. Breya Cunningham surrounded, kicks it out. Lee off to Booker. Guarded nicely there by Holloway. Booker loses it, 5 to shoot. Booker lost her footing again, and Swords comes up with it for Michigan. Here's Silas Swords all the way in for 2.
And that's where Michigan thrives, when they turn teams over 21 turnovers per game, and then they're able to get out and get buckets in transition.
13th in the nation in forcing turnovers. It's just the 2nd time these teams have met in their histories. The other meeting back in November of 2018, a Texas win. Booker, baseline jumper. It is feathery.
Aggressively, so physically, you don't want to pick up that kind of a chintzy foul.
Beautiful description. Here's Swords. On the pull-up, little too much on it, and Cunningham, the weak side rebound. Here is Harmon. So much speed to her game. Harmon gets into the paint, finds the angle in the bottom of the bucket.
Beautifully done.
Here comes Swords. Swords looking for a whistle, couldn't find that or the bucket. Gets it back, can't squeeze it in. Cunningham there. Harmon quickly ahead. A 6-2 lead in the early going for Texas. Texas has won 51 straight games in the state of Texas.
There's been a nice fast pace to this game. Both teams comfortable playing fast.
Oh, what a touch pass from Harmon. 2 games later, so she's kept the mask on for the rest of the season.
Man, it's so annoying. I played with a mask after a broken nose, and there's nothing more frustrating than getting hit again in the mask, in the face, especially when you don't have a foul called.
How much does it hurt?
A lot.
Olsen dives in, can't finish. Lee the rebound. Pushing for Texas. Lee. What speed from Jordan Lee. Quickly the other way, and Michigan turns it over. Winner of this game will face UCLA in the Final Four. Booker. Booker on the attack. Banks it in. Texas has not missed yet. And a 12-2 start. Olsen gets a whistle. And 65% from 3. We were talking with Vic Schaefer earlier today, and he said, you know, they knew I was hurt by the way they played. I talked about them and their effort, and he said it ended up a great thing because we really had a wonderful conversation about it, got to know each other better and feel closer than ever in the aftermath of it, and they played some incredible basketball. Cunningham lays it in.
You saw after the free throw, Michigan picking up in their full court pressure, run and jump, and while Rory Harmon handled it beautifully.
Dudley misses it wildly. Texas 7 for 7 from the floor to start this game. Booker, sure.
We're so short of it, we don't even have to ask D.
Right. Holloway can't finish. Harmon wanted to get it to Lee, streaking, could not. Harmon lays it in, posts the foul. Her 154th start today, which is tied for the most in program history. Linda Wagner with the record previously, held ball here, and possession arrow belongs to Michigan. Teala Delfas really changed the game against Louisville coming off the bench. It was a plus 31 in 22 minutes in the Sweet 16. Here's Holloway. Missed the layup. Putback won't go for Carlos Daniels. Michigan has missed its last 11 shots. Meanwhile, Texas is still 9 for 9. Carlton will take first miss of the game for Texas. Holloway, the sophomore point guard, lays it in, and that could have been number 2 on Rory Harmon.
Certainly.
Texas an 18-6 lead on Michigan. Trip to the Final Four on the line. Harmon. Lee will fire and hit.
You see Texas run that floppy action often for Madison Booker or Lee, and they can come off screens on either side. That time the defender got left behind.
Carlos Daniels giving it up to Dudley. Dudley, a quick move, gets the whistle. Lee picks up her first. Dudley, the transfer from UCLA.
Vic Schaefer brought up Dudley, as you mentioned, both her ability to drive by bigger defenders and get to the basket, but also how she can trap on ball screens. There will be times when she's on the floor, we will go away from our package, our offensive packages that involve on-ball screens.
Knocked away, there's a steal, Dudley involved. Delfas. Here's Holloway. Runs into Cunningham on the hedge, no whistle. Carlos Daniels, there she is. Another offensive rebound. Swords at 3, missed it right. Delfas, the O-board, another chance for Michigan. Holloway using the Dudley screen. Delfas fakes to 3. Dudley with 7 to shoot. Holloway now with 4, knocked away by Booker. Holloway gets it off and gets the roll.
How many offensive rebounds did Michigan have on that possession? They were all over the glass.
It was at least 2.
Yeah.
It may have been 3.
May have.
Someone get the tally. They have 4 on the day. Or night, depending where you're watching from. Here's Booker. Booker trapped. There it is. Carlton, the release valve. Harmon, what a pass. And the lay from Cunningham. Five seconds left in the quarter. Swords fires. Can't bank it in. That'll do it for the first. Texas shoots 11 of 12 from the floor in the first quarter.
I've been so impressed with Texas and the way they've shared the basketball so far in this game.
11 of 12 in the first, highest percentage in any quarter under Vic Schaefer for Texas.
And now you see Michigan coming out in their zone defense this time, trying to change things up, change the rhythm.
And Kim Barnes-Rico told us earlier today, hey, we're 95% man, as Lee can't hit the 3, but she said if we have to go zone, we're going to do it.
something they did earlier in the season against Connecticut that completely changed the complexion of that game.
Booker banks it in, puts the foul. And Madison Booker a chance for three. His number 2 on Quarles Daniels. Decander nods her head of approval, saying that was the right call. Olsen gets swallowed up by Oldacre. Oldacre in off the bench, coming off a big Sweet 16 performance. Carlton surrounded by 3 in the corner. Booker a 3, in and out. And a whistle. Going to go the other way as Carlton picks up the personal.
It's called for the foul.
Number 2 on Carlton. And now Ashton Judd will come in for Texas. Olsen missed it badly. Harmon off the carom, running with Lee.
Feels like Olivia Olsen's trying to get the 16 points back every single time down the floor. She needs to settle in a little bit.
Judd delivers. Lee around and off. Booker the O-board. Another chance for Texas. Lee again, a wide open 3. That one back iron and off. Lee has gotten some great looks from 3 in this quarter. Swords, what a delivery. Just so quick, her release.
And those are the shots that Kim Barnes-Rico told us she wanted her team to get when they push in transition. If they get the right player taking the 3, they want to get that. When Vanderbilt beat Texas earlier this season, they were able to score in transition in a similar way.
Oldacre the deep catch and pops it in. Kim Barnes-Rico was particularly concerned about Oldacre. Swords, youngest player on the Canadian national team, directing traffic. Dudley put it on the deck, poked away by Booker. Gets it back from Lee. Booker gets fouled by Holloway. That will be her first with UConn and Duke yesterday.
One of the best men's NCAA tournament games I've ever seen.
And the reaction from the UConn women Instagram on the UConn women page to the men's end of game was just incredible.
Was it almost as good as Danny Hurley's mom's reaction?
No. Now, prior to her arriving, they had 4 20-win seasons, 5 tournament appearances in their history. Since her arrival, 13 20-win seasons, and this is their 9th tournament appearance. Trying to head to her first Final Four. Swords in and out on a 3. Dudley escaping the arms for the finish here in the second. After giving up 22 points in the first, they've given up 7 here in the second, but have scored just 5 themselves.
They've not felt like they've been in rhythm at all offensively this entire half. Much of that is because of Texas's D.
Lee missed that one badly, and that's out of bounds to Michigan tonight. She has scored or assisted on 16 of Texas's 29.
She's on the triple-double watch once again in the first half of a game.
She has 4 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. And just 1 turnover. Dudley kicks. Olsen, she needs it. Doesn't have it. Delphos does, though, on the follow. See if Michigan can make any headway in these final 4 minutes of the first half.
Sure, Kim Barnes-Rico will feel good if she can get this into single digits going into the half.
Against the zone. Preston into the game for Texas. Oldacre a deep catch. Got fouled by Sofakanik.
She's so great with her footwork in the post. Here's a reason why her footwork is so good. She said, I grew up as a dancer. And she said, as I got taller, I always felt like I was pretty coordinated because she started at such a young age in dance. And really, it's just an excuse to show that adorable picture. I love doing the dance stories.
Oh, I mean, an incredible picture. And
we've talked about Olivia Olsen not looking comfortable. Jordan Lee has had that defensive assignment much of this game, done a nice job on her.
Sofakanik trying to find space around Oldacre. Couldn't bank it in.
Texas's defense has been stifling this first half.
Understand why Maddie Booker told Janae she feels they have the best defense in the country. Lee throws it away. Swords on the steal. Sword stops, leans, can't finish. Dudley a chance, no. Volleyed in the air, and Booker comes away with it for Texas. Here's Booker with some pace. Booker, what a crossover, and the connection. Off to Dudley. 6 to shoot. Good look. Sofocanic is fouled by Preston. Free throws for Sofocanic.
I mean, just watch this. Right to left. Crossover. Pull up. How do you defend that? Mere mortals cannot. And that's why Madison Booker was able to get that one.
As we send things over to Holly Rowe.
Well, you may have noticed she wears number 35. Another pretty famous 35 played at Texas, Kevin Durant. She wears that to honor him, really become good buddies with him. He has recently signed her to an NIL deal to promote his KD 19s that are coming out soon. But, you know, she has modeled her game like him. And that last crossover, I was like, okay, I see you, KD. I see you, Madison Booker. MB.
No doubt that high release point, unbothered by a defender in her face. And then, I mean, it's velvety. Michigan 6 of 32. Holloway into Swords, gets space, and buries the three. 7 seconds left. Preston dashing ahead. 2 seconds. Preston gets denied after a huge screen from Oldacre. And that'll do it for the first half. Let's take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Dixie. Michigan shot just 21% from the floor, their lowest in any half this season. Texas struggled shooting the ball in the second quarter, though. It was a 12-12 second quarter, so still a manageable deficit, just 13 for Michigan. Could have been a lot worse with the way they struggled offensively the entire half. A zone here.
Yeah, Michigan starting the second half in a zone. Texas showing great patience, overloading the sides of the floor.
Carlton can't finish. Cunningham nearly tied up. Lee now will give it up to Harmon. Harmon redirecting traffic. Lee, a three. That one's short as well. The misses have gotten progressively worse this game for Lee. Had a couple go in and out early. Now it's missed short on her last few. Now 0 for 6 from the floor. In the corner this time. Back iron and off. 0 for 7 from 3 for Lee. Carlton misses the banker. Cunningham has it yanked away. And finally Michigan controls. Here's Holloway. Doesn't get the whistle. Quarles Daniels trying to save it. Booker comes away with it. Shot clock down to 6. Booker with a hand in her face. Can't hit. And Olsen flags it down. Olsen flings it ahead. Holloway trying to catch up with it and does. She'll fire. Not a good shot there from Mila Holloway. Here's Booker throwing it away. Disjointed beginning to the second half. Holloway backs it away. Gives to Olsen. Mid-range is good. First field goal of the game. 11-point game. Michigan's defense has started to lock down Texas. Lee out to Harmon. Her three is good.
Good look against the zone.
Harmon now 4 for 5 from 3 in the tournament. Very selective with her attempts, but very efficient. Olsen ill-advised. Holloway dives on the floor. Held ball. It belongs to Texas.
See Rory Harmon, who's on the left side of the floor. Jordan Lee engages the middle of the zone. Both defenders converge, and that leaves Rory Harmon open.
First 3 of the game for Texas. They had missed their first 9 attempts. Harmon 7 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Nice entry feed. Cunningham gets it to go. Push the foul. Cunningham has made 9 of her last 10 field goals. Vic Schaefer has applauded her physicality, also her ability to withstand adversity, to become unbothered. Lead is back to 17.
I mean, look at the deny. You can't make a clean pass.
Olsen gets a whistle. First foul against Cunningham as Olsen rattles in the first free throw. Olsen, who had 27 second-half points in the second round against NC State, had a big second half against Louisville in the Sweet 16. Michigan probably going to need one from her here in the Elite Eight. Cunningham drops it in. Quarles Daniels looking for help. Lee all over. Quarles Daniels can't finish. Rebound. Booker trying to flag it down. Eventually it's Harmon. Harmon trapped. Boy, what a pass to get it out of the trap and off to Booker.
Especially because that was a big trap. That was two defenders over 6 feet tall, and Rory Harmon was able to get the pass out over them.
Lob it in. Cunningham. Ripped away by Quarles Daniels. Stays here with Texas. We've seen plenty of TCU gear in the crowd here in these games.
Despite purple.
Yeah. Despite them not playing here. Lee in the corner. No. And Carlton off the deflection gets fouled. Jordan Lee now 0 of 8 from 3.
She's gotten great looks. She's gotten great looks, and she's a shooter, so you're going to continue to take them when they're wide open.
Comes from a basketball pedigree that you don't worry about her shying away from taking, even when she's not hitting. 19-point Texas lead. Quarles Daniels gets loose and lays it in.
That all started with the entry pass, getting it inbound over the defender, and then the get ahead by Delphos.
Here's Booker. Booker fading. Wow. I mean, it's silly how smooth Madison Booker is. Dudley can lay it in. Carlton off to Booker. 19-point Texas lead. Lee backs it away. 8 to shoot. Booker, another one. Oh, yeah! Largest lead of the night for Texas. Swords in the corner. Rims out. These rims haven't been very friendly to anyone here in Fort Worth.
3 for 22 these teams are combined from 3 today.
Carlton digs in and banks it home.
Comes away a little bit hobbled.
Harmon off the steal with Booker running. Has Lee to her right. Now we'll slow it down.
Quarles Daniels just lost the handle on the basketball that time on the bounce.
They want Oldacre to shoot it. Will she be a crowd pleaser? Harmon back to Oldacre. Oldacre looking like Mighty Oldacre. A chance for 3.
Oldacre did not want to hoist a 3 with the clock going down. Gives it to Rory Harmon, who also doesn't just want to hoist a 3 with the clock going down. So delivers it to Oldacre going towards the rim. 2 bowling pins hit the floor. After this, both Swords and Delphos go down. What a play by Oldacre.
Oldacre had a memorable highlight in last year's Elite Eight and does there with the scoop and picking up the spare at the same time. Carlton to steal. Texas has settled back down after they went through that stretch where they missed 16 of 18 field goals, but their defense so good that Michigan couldn't take advantage. Lee doesn't take it, will drive it, kick it, Booker, no. Oldacre, get out of her way. about Oldacre in the last Elite Eight?
One of my favorite plays from last year's NCAA tournament was this. Oldacre getting the steal and then going all the way down the floor for the and one, but the emotion afterwards from both Oldacre and her teammates because she has such a stoic personality. That's about as much smile as you're going to get from Kyla.
Holly?
Well, I had a feeling this would be a big night for Kyla just based on the personnel matchups. And so I talked to her after shoot-around today, and she said, I don't like to go into the game thinking that way or discrediting my opponent. I can't go in charging. I've got to have some finesse. I've got to see how the officials are officiating the game. And she's been able to impose her will, use that big frame, and be a bull out there without getting into foul trouble. Pretty incredible that she's that astute.
Yeah, you know, Vic Schaefer talks about his two-headed monster at the 5. Cunningham and Oldacre both really quality minutes today. Look at Oldacre. And just snatching it away with those hands. From the freshman into the game for Texas. Back to Oldacre. And now Harmon will settle things down. 1 minute to go in the third. Oldacre, the deep catch. Oldacre, the follow. Couldn't hang on. Knocked out of bounds. Lasted Michigan. Another chance for Texas. And knocked it out. Carlton, nice delivery from Harmon. Her 10th assist of the night. Got an 11-second difference game and shot clock. And that is going to be a blocking foul on Lee.
That our wonderful producer, Kerry Callahan, just showed me, shows the defense was in a legal position and the offensive foul.
Where you see one official was going to call an offensive foul, but the other officially, you see that smile from Vic saying, that's yours.
Actually, well, Brian didn't tell him what I said.
Got a 3-second difference game and shot clock. A reminder, TCU South Carolina up next on ESPN. Harmon, wheeling, dishing, Carlton, no. Rebound, Quarles Daniels, and Swords doesn't get it off. That'll do it to the third. Texas a 26-point lead through 3. Since UConn back in 2010 to have at least 16 wins against a ranked team in a single season.
This is a Texas team that has just been so on point both defensively and offensively. They've really come together, played with great chemistry since that loss.
Olsen can't in. Oldacre the rebound. Harmon, the triple-double watch is on. She has 7 points, 10 assists, and 7 boards. 8th time this season, she's had at least 10 assists. Carlton able to adjust and finish. That was an area of concern for her tonight going into this matchup against Texas.
Yeah, certainly. We've seen Rory Harmon handle the pressure she's faced beautifully.
Swords can't hit the 3. Rebound last hits Michigan, and it will be Texas basketball. Is in the Elite Eight for just the 2nd time in program history. 61% of their scoring this year from sophomores, which is most in the nation. And they are very confident they're bringing back that sophomore class. Oldacre flips it in. That's the foul. The ballerina has been working in the Elite Eight.
To be able to handle Kyla Oldacre around the rim.
Rebound. Out to Carlton. Here is Harmon. Another chance for Texas. Lee on the attack, leaning, can't hit. Oldacre the offensive rebound. The putback and the foul. The bench doesn't know what to do.
Kyla Oldacre has simply been unstoppable inside. Here she carves out her space to get the O board, finishes, falls.
I mean, Texas has been just destroying teams thus far in this tournament with so many different contributors. This is a very deep Longhorn team. That three won't go. Oldacre, another rebound. I mean, it almost looks like the older kid at the playground is holding the ball above their head.
It's like the older sibling teasing the younger one. Like, come get it. You can't.
Texas entered this game first time in program history. They'd won 3 straight tournament games by at least 20 points. And they are on their way to winning a 4th straight. Carlton, why not? Just her 8th 3 of the year as Michigan turns it over. Oh, they know exactly where the camera is.
This run here, too, happening with Madison Booker on the bench.
She probably is not going to need to see the floor again tonight.
No.
Harmon, what a move. Crump in the corner. You bet. What an onslaught from Texas. Holloway can't finish. Oldacre swallows up another rebound. Harmon the lob. Carlton again.
Yeah, the way she impacts winning, and we showed a lot of the scores, but also great screen setter, terrific defender.
And how about
Look at her defending on the perimeter now.
And a 146, a plus 146 point margin so far for Texas in the NCAA Tournament. That would be the largest ever by an SEC team. Olsen at the line. Rebecca, entering the tournament, it felt like UConn, and that for most, they were seen as a slight notch above the other 1 seeds. But with the way Texas has played, as well as the way UCLA and South Carolina have performed, it feels like all the 1 seeds very close right now. Preston was going to check out. Now is going to come back in at the first chance she can. Intercepted by Olsen. Olsen will bank it in. Plus the foul. A 2 seed, the highest in program history, a program record as far as points per game goes.
Especially in that first half on the offensive end.
About the last box to check for Texas in this game would be Lee hitting a shot. She has been frigid so far tonight. 2 for 16 from the floor, 0 of 8 from 3. You may want her to just see one go through heading into the Final Four, where it would be harder for them to endure that kind of shooting performance. As Preston blasts into a body. And then we'll go to the line to shoot 2.
She has had to really struggle for playing time this season. She talked to Vic earlier in the season, like, what am I doing wrong? I've got to stay on the floor more. And everything he told her she has to do, she has done. So he has been very intentional. But she has found ways to get on the floor through her hard work, her practice habits. And just then, she's like, no way. I don't care if I'm hurt or not. I am not coming out. It was a cute exchange with her and Vic.
Well, Vic likes to say, I have 2 point guards. 1 gas, 1 electric. And a somewhat significant lead for much of the first half and into the 3rd quarter, and UCLA responded beautifully. Lee still can't get one to go down. Now 2 for 17. Oldacre has 8 rebounds in the 4th. Michigan has 1. And Vic Schaefer had this level of confidence. You know, there are times where Vic has reminder up next is South Carolina and TCU. The Gamecocks will be looking ahead to a 6th straight Final Four. Knocked away, Crump off the steal. Now Preston. Crump can't hit. Sidbury the rebound. The putback no, and then the foul. Friday. So 9:30 Eastern on ESPN. Texas and UCLA will tip at 7. And that will be UConn against either South Carolina or TCU. We saw her go in the Sweet 16, hit a couple of free throws. A fan favorite with the energy she has poured into this program. And here she comes. I mean, it really is unbelievable. It is the loudest they cheer as Quarles Daniels intercepts that right in front of us, and here comes Graves. John and Nicole, Sarah's parents, so fired up. Rebecca, you talked about it the other day, as a parent who has had kids play sports, just those last moments of getting to see them on the floor, knowing you never will again. It's such a meaningful moment for a parent looking at a senior.
Every minute is significant.
And no guarantee Graves gets on the floor in Phoenix. So they will soak it up here in Fort Worth as Holloway bumps Preston, and Preston will shoot free throws as Holloway and Preston share a smile. Rebecca, how about a moment on Michigan's sophomores? We didn't see the best tonight of Holloway, Olsen, Swords, a remarkably talented group that has accomplished so much this year, and really a sky-high ceiling moving forward in this program.
Oh, certainly. Keep an eye on Michigan, because this young group is to continue to get this experience with the expectation that you will, Kim Barnes-Rico, hoping that they will be back in this moment next year. They are talented. They are deep.
They've run into a buzzsaw. Texas probably playing the best basketball in the nation right now.
They are.
Seabury to Graves, her three. No. Most anticipated shot of the night right there. Will they get her another look? Graves, catch, fire, you bet! Some icing. For the first time since 1987, Texas is headed back